Hi, everyone. How's it going? I hope everyone's doing really well, that you're having a good week. So, we are deep into January and almost moving into February already. Can't even believe it. And I wonder about you, but like having goals for 2025 and wanting to have them on the forefront of your mind and setting kind of timelines. And that's where I'm at right now, figuring out like personal goals and professional business goals and excited about what I'm going to make happen, what I'm going to manifest and commit to in 2025. Hard to believe that now I have 11 months basically to make shit happen, as I call it. So I hope y'all are coming up with some objectives and plans for yourself personally and professionally. I do know that when we set goals and we have a clear intention, that's how we make it happen. So if we're just thinking and pondering and reflecting on these things that we want to do and make happen, that's not actually going to create a good environment for positive turnout for success. So write it down, stick it on a post-it on your desk. I mean, I have post-its all over my desk, and it's always a good feeling when I can rip that post-it off and throw it in the trash because I know that I've actually accomplished that objective. So wishing you luck in that and wanting to encourage you to try it if you haven't yet, to see if actually things manifest and come to fruition more successfully when you actually set an intention, put it in writing, and make a commitment for it, carve it out in your life. So anyway, that's actually not the topic that I want to cover today, but that was just what was on the forefront of my mind that I wanted to impart, in addition to my topic for the day. Every time I turn the camera on these days, one of my commitments in the new year is to actually, right before, really reflect and think about, is there any message that I want to impart to my listeners? Any takeaway, anything that been meaningful or significant to me that I can share and I feel compelled to share with y'all. So that's my share for the day. And thanks to those of you who have subscribed to my channel, who continue to support me. And for those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I hope you get a lot of helpful information, tools. Hopefully, you open up in ways that you weren't expecting just by listening to topics that I cover. Please challenge yourself. This is all about growing, expanding, trying new things, leaning into fear, and really about connection with ourselves and ultimately with others in a very authentic, honest, loving way. So let's jump in with all that said. My topic today is safe hookups on dating apps. And this is specifically tips for LGBTQ plus folks. But of course, like many topics that I cover, we can apply this to just humans, right? Regardless of your gender or your sexual orientation. So, safe hookup on dating apps. Casual sex can be fun, hot, and fulfilling. Definitely can be super fun. And you deserve for it to be safe as well. If you're using dating or hookup apps to find partners for casual, no strings attached sex, there are steps you can take to make your encounters as secure as possible. Today, I want to share what I recommend that you all should keep in mind. Navigating dating apps safely. Having any kind of digital presence, including social media, carries some inherent risk. But there's plenty you can do to make using dating apps safer, more private, and more secure. I'm going to share some examples. Avoid using your last name or even using a nickname or pseudonym. Don't post photos that may identify where you live, including identifiable photos of your house. Don't share identifiable photos of your children or any children in your life. Try not to offer your social media or phone number right away. You can also use a Google phone number, they're free. If you're using a location-based app like Grindr, consider whether you want to share public photos of your face or keep them private to share only with matches. Planning your meetup. It's helpful to discuss your interests and what you're into ahead of meeting up, if only to make sure that you're aligned enough in terms of what you want to do in bed, that you'll both have fun. This can be an involved discussion about sexual roles and kinks, or a brief back and forth confirming who'll be top, for example. After compatibility is established, It's a great idea to check in about some logistics, including safety. Who will host? What's their place like? What safer sex practices do you both want to use? Do you need to check in about STI status or testing? And this can be very like matter of fact. It does not have to be emotional. It's just like here's my status. What about yours? These are my test results. You can show verification. This is all about being an adult and being responsible and safe when engaging sexually with another. Verification and boundaries. Once you've matched and confirmed mutual interest, it's helpful to verify identity if possible, especially if you're on an app where faceless photos are the norm. If it's an app that allows you to share more photos, that can be helpful. And if not, you might have to have a quick video call or meet in person in a public place, which is always a good idea anyway. It's also not a bad idea to reverse image search photos from their profile just to confirm they aren't an obvious catfish. So on Google, you can search reverse search and it'll show you exactly how to do it. If you're moving forward with planning a hookup, it can also be useful to sketch out any boundaries or hard limits you have. Casual partners don't have the time and space to learn your needs and boundaries that long term partners do, which makes it more important to communicate these clearly and directly upfront. If there's an activity you're not into, language you don't want to use, or a part of your body you don't want touched, it's really useful to get that on the table explicitly. Like, don't wait until you're in the situation where it can be really awkward and uncomfortable. Make sure to talk about it beforehand. Having a safe, fun hookup. If possible, it's always best to meet in a public place prior to going somewhere more private for a hookup. This helps you verify that the person you're meeting is thought, who you thought they were on the apps, and also gives you a chance to assess the vibe. It's also possible someone seemed hot and chill in photos, but gives you a bad feeling actually in person. A public meetup doesn't have to be a lengthy date. It's fine to meet at a bar or a coffee shop near someone's apartment for a quick 15-minute drink just to confirm details and safer sex plans, and then head out to hook up. Meeting near where you plan to hook up can also help you confirm location and travel plans for if you change your mind or want to leave. If you don't drive, is this person's apartment near public transportation or someplace you can easily get a rideshare? If not, you may want to reconsider or reschedule. If you do choose to leave a public place to pursue things with your date, it's smart to let someone else know. Text a friend the address you're going to, or share your location on the phone. Let them know a time you expect to either be back home or to check in so that they'll know something is up if they don't hear from you at that time. If you're hosting someone else, let a friend know that and what that person's details are. And most importantly, make sure your date knows you're informing someone else of your plans. I think it doesn't occur to us. We do it feel like secretively because we don't want to make the other person uncomfortable, but it's important to let them know that like you're responsible, you're not going in blind, and safety is important to you. Once you're in a private place, continue to communicate about what you want and what feels good to you, including what safer sex practices you want to use. Remember that you can change your mind or withdraw consent at any point. Yes, you can change your mind and withdraw consent at any point. You get to decide, and nothing is set in stone, including changing your mind about what you're up for. So you may have said initially you were up for certain things, and then you realize you're not feeling it right now for whatever reason. You can certainly change your mind, and don't allow anybody to make you think differently. Assessing feelings and communicating boundaries for the future. Is this someone you'd like to see again? Do they feel the same way? If your hookup is someone you're interested in as a casual, consistent dynamic, it's a great idea to share a little bit about what worked best for you and actually what didn't. Everyone loves hearing that they were hot and fun and great in bed. Being in a casual dynamic with someone doesn't mean you can't offer compliments and let them know what a good time you had with them, and also share if there's anything you would like to see different next time. If there was anything that didn't work, something that didn't feel as good as you wanted, a time you didn't communicate well or weren't fully listened to, or something that was difficult emotionally or triggering, it's also helpful to share that. Doesn't mean criticizing or attacking your partner, but providing constructive feedback for any future hookups. Next time, could we do this thing differently, for example? Or I realize in hindsight, I wasn't expecting to feel that way. and it made me a little uncomfortable. I'm wondering if we could approach it a little bit differently, and you suggest how that might look. It's also great to solicit feedback from your date. Yes, even if you're a bottom, just asking, how was it for you? Or asking if there's anything else they'd like to try in the future can go a long way. I hope you all found this helpful. Remember, it's always at the end of the day about communicating your needs, like expressing interest in the person's needs. You want to hear from them about how they are feeling, anything they want to see different, and being honest and authentic. It will never fail you. Just be honest and communicate. Hugs, kisses, everyone. I'll see y'all next week.